In a T+1 world, speed and efficiency has become not only important, but necessary. Up next, we're excited to feature Broadridge, a new partner for us who has integrated Symphony into their NYFIX Matching platform to streamline and enhance operations workflows. So with that, please welcome Rahel Hassan and Scott Weeks from Broadridge.
Thanks for the introduction there, David. Much appreciated. So I'm Scott Weeks, and I head up sales for NYFIX in EMEA, covering both the fixed order routing side of the business, as well as the post-trade aspect that we're referencing today. On behalf of myself and my esteemed colleague Rahel here, I'd like to offer our immense gratitude for being invited along today to explain how the partnership between NYFIX and Symphony offers new levels of seamlessness for our mutual clients. As the technology underlying the solution may be unfamiliar to some of you, I wanted to explain the basic mechanics of it, this diagram here, before Rahel walks you through a demonstration and not only showcases how streamline our process is, but also how, given its real-time nature, how big a part Symphony plays in increasing its timeliness even further. After after trade execution has taken place, using the NYFIX network naturally, the trade allocations are fed into NYFIX Matching from the buy-side OMS via API. After that, the NYFIX Matching then sends the allocation level details via FIX to the broker's middle office systems. The brokers will then send back confirmation messages at the allocation level, which our matching engine will use to compare the buy-side versus sell-side data. And then finally, the matching status is then fed automatically back into the buy-side OMS and simultaneously updating the broker's systems. Despite the numerous steps detailed here, this entire workflow can literally take seconds, makes the process of an exception management exercise, meaning time and energy can really be spent elsewhere doing better things. In eventuality there is an issue needing resolution, Symphony is naturally utilised as the most effective means of directly communicating with the broker. And with that, I'd like to pass you across to Rahel.
Thanks, Scott. Great to see some familiar faces and some new faces to meet. My name is Rahel Hassan. I work closely with Scott, looking after all aspects of integration with NYFIX Matching. First thing that I should mention, as part of our discussions with clients, one subject kept on being mentioned, message feature. Building our own messaging network would potentially be a non-starter, with adoption being a very high wall to climb. So we did the next best thing. We partnered up with an industry-recognized name, Symphony. Now we should see on screen the NYFIX Matching GUI, along with our partner logo, Symphony, over there. As such, we have the Symphony messaging network embedded into our matching workflow. NYFIX Matching, as Scott mentioned, is NYFIX's post-trade allocation matching solution.
So we're a true multi-asset offering, unlike our competitors, so there's no bifurcation of workflow needed. We support cash equities, equity swaps, fixed income bonds, futures options, and latterly foreign exchange.
In addition to allocation matching, we also offer swift settlement instructions to custodians. However, for purposes of today's demo, we will showcase the matching workflow alongside our integration with Symphony Messaging Network. At this stage, we should start seeing allocation instructions coming in from the buy-side OMS via FIX API. NYFIX Matching as a FIX API is a FIX API native platform. However, we do support delivery via SFTP file also. At this stage, we can see the allocations coming in. Each line item represents a block. The column headers should be self-explanatory. We have side, symbol, security, security ID, trade date, settlement date, and then two main status columns. Status is the main status, pending, mismatched, matched. We have sub-status as well. If we click on any one of the block line items, we shall see the allocation shapes within that block. If we click on the block, we'll see the trade detail grid being displayed. The trade detail grid will display the allocation information sent in from the buy-side OMS. When the broker responds back, we will receive the data sent by the broker's middle office system in the form of a confirmation message. And any differences between the two will be displayed in the delta column. We also have a View Event Logs button. If we click on the View Event Logs, this will display all the iterative events that's occurred on the life cycle of the allocation instruction, along with timestamps.
So the timestamp function has been an area of quite intense focus by the SEC in the US, with the T+1 mandate having already passed. And we believe that it's likely to be the same kind of architecture in Europe.
The next step in the life cycle will be for the broker to send an accept message back to NYFIX Matching, indicating they agree to the high-level detail that they've received. We should see now transition on the sub-status column showing block accept or a reject, depending if they recognize the trade or not. Following on from this, the brokers will start sending back confirmation messages at the allocation level, which we should see the transition now. And once we receive the confirmation messages, our matching engine will compare the allocation instructions sent from the buy-side OMS versus the confirmation message sent by the broker's middle office system. In this case, we see a sea of red. Sea of red is good. We can see examples of exact match. If we click on the line item and then click on the allocation towards the bottom panel, on the trade detail grid, we should see the data exactly matches up with what the client sent in. However, in contrast, if we look at an example of a tolerance match, further down here, in this case, if we highlight the line item which is at tolerance match, the top one, please. One up. Thank you. We should see on the trade detail grid, there are small differences between the asset manager and the broker, the difference being displayed in the delta column. In this case, it's within the tolerance range. We still indicate it's a match, but we do provide indication that it's a tolerance match because it's within the tolerance range. Next, if we want to review the mismatched line item and send them over to the broker, this is where the Symphony Messaging network comes in. So now, if we look at the examples for broker 1, we can simply select the checkbox for each line item, so the reject example, because we want to know why it's been rejected, the pending item, and also the mismatch item. These are all the ones that are with broker 1. Now, once we've selected them, at the top, we'll see the chat button enabled. Once we click on chat, on the pop-up, we'll review the trade detail that we're going to send over via Symphony Network. Click on submit. This will automatically open up the Symphony chat window. This will create a chat room with your broker. You'll type in your contacts at the broker, scroll down, click on create chat room. This has now started a chat with your broker. Alongside, there's also a hyperlink with table as the label, and we'll see the data that's been sent across to the broker for review. At this stage, over the Symphony Network, when the broker responds back, we will see the responses come in the Symphony icon at the bottom. So for now, if we minimize and we'll wait for the broker to respond back to see what that looks like, we can already see it. The broker has responded, there's one unread message. However, when it comes to mismatches, either the data sent by the buy side or the data sent by the sell side is incorrect. In the case where the broker made an error, they can simply send back an updated confirmation message, in which case we will see an easy transition from mismatched to matched, and hopefully we'll see that now. In the case where the buy-side client made the error, they can send a cancel and replace from the order management system, or they can perform a force match within our platform. In order to do that, we just saw the example where the broker sent an updated confirmation message. Now, if the client wanted to force match against the buy side, they will select the relevant line item or block, click on the checkbox on the left-hand side. At this stage, we'll see the force match orange. Thank you. There we go. Checkbox on the left-hand side. Now we should see the force match button enabled. Click on force match. We can type in some comment to say agree with broker. Agree with broker. Thank you. And then click on submit. This will then force match against the broker values. At this stage, we send a message back to the broker's middle office system indicating match. We send a message back to the client's OMS indicating a match as well.
So as I mentioned before, the goal for this workflow is really exception management and ultimately saves time and mitigates risk. So what this essentially means is that the sea of green that Rahel refers to here needs no further attention from you guys, and it's a far cry from the alternative workflows out there.
So that, in a nutshell, is the matching workflow on NYFIX Matching, using the Symphony messaging system to convey any mismatches or trades that you require the broker to review.
So we hope this partnership of technologies that resonates with you all. Please feel free to reach out to us if you have any further questions, however small. We'll both be available after this session, and obviously the drinks thereafter. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Rahel. Thank you, Scott. That was great. Thanks for walking us through that. I'd love to hear what kind of enhancements we have coming down the line with NYFIX Matching.
Thanks, David. That's a very good question. Initially, the Symphony integration has been applied to cash equity only. We are planning to expand that across all our asset class ranges. That should be included in the next release. In addition to that, we want to work with the buy-side community and see how we can enhance the workflow. So at the moment, as you saw, when a broker responds back, the icon, the Symphony icon will be highlighted, indicating there are a specific number of unread messages. However, we want to show on the UI in terms of visual marker to indicate there is a response from the broker, not just that, but a specific line item where the mismatch or pending issue is. There will be a chat column, and that chat column will be highlighted in a different color to indicate there is a response.
One thing that really caught my attention was the ability to batch select exceptions and then send those off to a broker. I imagine as a high volume client, if you've got a bunch of mismatched trades at the end of the day, having the ability to select a bunch of them and fire those off becomes very seamless and efficient.
Correct. So when we designed this integration, we wanted to ensure that paramount was ease of use. We did not want clients to send out mismatches or pending items on a singular basis to the broker across multiple chats. So we want to have the ability for clients to multi-select easily and then send them over seamlessly over the Symphony network.
And then I guess everyone's probably wondering the same thing when you see an integration like this. How difficult is it to get something like this set up?
Yeah, it's very easy. So we've already partnered with most of the relevant OMSs. Onboarding has literally become a turnkey solution. So the integration is made very straightforward and simplistic. Buy sides are looking at somewhere between a 4 to 6 week time frame, irrespective of their size.
That's great. All right, let's give it another round of applause to Rahel and Scott.
Thank you.
From Broadridge and NYFIX.
Thanks very much.